Come along, children. Now we're going to have a little music.
This ain't funny, so don't you dare laugh with the 450.
Yo, what is good? What is up? Welcome back to First Cut Live. This is your Monday weekly show talking about all the good stuff coming from the movie news and the nerdverse that we currently live in, because we just got a new Marvel movie and apparently some Marvel stuff that's been popping off on Twitter. We ain't gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about this new movie that came out this weekend. But first, I want to introduce Mr. Wakanda Boy himself, Mr. Black Panther. What is up, RB3? What's up, bro?
What's good? Here on the, I don't even know what day it is, Monday. But we will, today's a Monday, but this might be the last Monday that we do on First Cut Live. So just putting that
Let him know.
Should I let it be known right now? All right, hold on.
Let it be known.
Let me get a little anticipation built here. Wait a second here. Do I have that thing? Man, I ain't got no sound effects in this board. Hey, yo, chat, let's start making suggestions for sound effects for the board, because I still have all these old SEM ones, and they're no good. Everybody. Next week, starting next Tuesday, First Cut Live is officially moving to Tuesdays at 7. Y'all heard? Tuesdays at 7. We are officially out of the way of the Wenger show. We are tired of competing with our friends.
We had to do it.
We originally had Thursday, I feel like. Then somebody took Thursday. Then we had Wednesday. Rogo Wednesday happened. Then we landed on Monday. We knew Wenger's was at 8. Ours was at 7. We usually try to wrap at 8. Streams was usually an hour if you watched back then. Whatever. Now they just started at 7 now, apparently. So we're just going to move dates again. We're just going to accommodate for our friends yet again, because we the small channel, but we the loving channel. You know what I mean? They say black people is loving people. So that's just what we're going to do. But please make sure you let it be known. Tuesdays, 7 o'clock. That's when we're going to be. That's where we're going to be at. How many people in the chat right now? Do we have some viewers in the chat? We got people in the chat.
We got 7 people in the chat right now. 8 people in the chat.
People. What's going on, man? We are getting ready to talk
tell
about...
your mom, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your brother, tell your sister.
Let it be
known.
Tell
your neighbor. Let it be known.
Let it be known, because
screaming from the mountaintops.
We are about to review Eternals right now. I feel like I got thoughts. I feel like a lot of people got thoughts. Is there literally nobody in the chat? Joseph Weeks is here. What's goody? Hit that like button. The burners. Let me get the burners going real quick. Everybody hit that like button though.
We got the burners going. We got a live stream going right now. If you're watching the Wangers right now, go ahead and exit off that link. Come join us. You give them a good watch. You'll be back next week.
Tell them that we're reviewing Eternals. Like they want to talk to Anna Smith is our dude. But if y'all want to talk some movies, like that's what we're here for. So.
Go ahead and join them next week, because next week they have the entire Monday to themselves. No more competition from us.
Facts.
We're not taking their viewers no more.
Yeah, or maybe go ahead and let them know. Ours. I don't know. Hey, also shout out to we're also moving to Mondays. Moving off of Mondays to Tuesdays. Partially to accommodate for, as our good friend Starcross Lover alluded to in the chat. For Sabrina. Sabrina started her first day at her new job today. So
get that horn. Get that horn.
For that.
That was gonna be the.
No, we need multiple. We need that.
Yeah.
We need that. We need a lot of them going. So I might even throw one more in here. Wait, hold up. There we go.
Why not?
But yeah, Sabrina started a new full-time job. I know how it's like transitioning from a full-time job to being a full-time employee.
Yeah,
so.
Especially when it's like an industry job.
Yeah.
Ain't no such thing as like 9 to 5 in an industry job. You know that.
Yeah.
Got y'all working overtime and stuff. So we are currently without Sabrina today. That's all good, because we're going to be talking about Eternals tonight. It is happening. So again, guys, if you're not in the chat, let us know right now. Let everyone else know that you guys are here and you guys are ready for us to talk about Eternals, because we're about to talk about it right now. RB3, let's set the table, man. Let's set the table real quick. just so we can hit the ground running, just because I know people want to hear it right now. But you've been talking about Eternals for like 2 years. Not 2 years. All right. A year and a half, maybe?
Yeah, for a long time, a good amount of time, for sure.
Because your buddy went to like the screening all the way back in the day, and you let it be known, just like we let it be known right now that we're going to be on Tuesdays at 7 next week. But just like we said that, you said that your buddy saw Eternals, the screening of it, which meant like the CG shots weren't finished and all that. But you said that this was a hype ass movie and it was going to be kind of incredible. Yeah. How are you feeling now? And how do you feel like overall your expectations were going into the movie? And how do you feel about the movie as a whole?
Well, clearly I had high expectations because I was told, okay, so here's what's funny. I was told at one point, yes, you're right. I was told at one point that like movie was amazing. Like it's gonna be like the new Guardians of the Galaxy. Like that's what I heard, right? And then a couple, in the weeks leading up to the film, some of the reactions like weren't leaning in that direction. Like you start hearing like more divisive things about it going in. So I didn't really know. That being said, though, yeah, I did hear it was gonna be good. I heard ambitious and I heard like different, and then when I hear those things get me excited. And honestly, I thought it was even more valid what my homie was saying, partially because look, Chloe Zhao just won the Oscar for Best Director. Like her movie won Best Picture, No Man's Land. Like if that's not the biggest like tossing of, and homie who told me this didn't even know who Chloe Zhao was, didn't even know about No Man's Land. This was way before No Man's Land. This is way before she won her Oscar. They told me these things. So I was just like, okay, you're telling me this is amazing. The director won a freaking Oscar, for coincidentally that same year. All right, this is gonna be perfect. This is gonna be the best movie ever. So I went in there with that kind of like level of expectation. Now, was that the right expectation to go into? Probably not. But ultimately, I don't know. Do we want to like get into our thoughts about the movie right now, or what are you thinking?
Let's do it, man. Yeah. If you had your overall thoughts on the film, let me know.
Wait, let me get this tweet out real quick. What did you think? Tap in. Make sure I hit that like button, and firstcut.live is where you get the firstcut.live is where you can donate. $5 plus donations will be read out loud by the robot. So what do I think of Eternals? When I first watched it, I'm not going to lie, there was a little bit of a tinge of disappointment when it came to how I felt just in regards to how it ended, That being said, though, upon thinking about it, upon really looking back and reflecting upon what the film looked at, what the film was trying to do. And honestly, when I walked out of the movie, I had no idea. I don't look at Rotten Tomatoes scores before I go into movies anymore. I just don't look at any reviews before I go into movies anymore, because I know if I'm going to review it for this channel, I kind of don't want my opinion to be tampered by other people's opinions. So I had no idea until like I saw it Friday. No, I saw it Thursday because we were planning initially to do it like Friday. I had no idea until Saturday morning because I woke up to like JTE saying like, oh yeah, Team Eternals, I think it's awesome. And he was like, but I don't get why it's rotten. I had no idea it was rotten. I looked on Rotten Tomatoes. It was like at a 49%. So that just like caught me way off guard. Like I knew it wasn't like the best Marvel movie to me, but I didn't think it was the lowest rated Marvel movie of all time. I didn't think it's anywhere close to the garbage that's, Thor 2 or Iron Man 2 or, in my opinion, Iron Man 3 or just a lot of the other trash MCU movies that we've seen over the years. Like, even though the other trash movies we've seen at other points in the year, like, I'm looking at this and I'm looking at the 58% that Venom Let There Be Carnage had, and I'm scratching my head. I'm losing my mind here. I don't understand what this means at all. So I do think like I maybe was a little bit disappointed when I saw it, just because I thought it was going to be the greatest Marvel movie ever. But I was even way more disappointed by seeing like the total trash in this movie by critics, because I do think it is wildly ambitious. Like, the things that are wrong with this movie are things that are right about a lot of other movies. Like, it's wildly ambitious. mind blowing, is doing something different, is doing something unique. It might not be conventional, but that's cool to me, and that's what I want to see in the movie. I don't want to see another cookie cutter Marvel movie every single time. So that to me is like what I kind of got lost at. So I personally, I probably would rank it a little bit higher, and maybe in looking at it and seeing how intellectual it tries to be and how ambitious it tries to be, I do end up enjoying it a little bit more. But you know, it's not perfect, and it's nowhere near perfect. So
yeah, you saw this once, right? I want to get this.
Yeah,
right?
once.
Right? Isn't it kind of true? And I've seen this tweet from a couple people that I personally know that I don't think anyone else follows. But like friends of mine have been saying, like, out of all the Marvel movies, this one kind of sticks with you, right? You feel that? Like, it's kind of interesting how, like, I saw the movie and I think I'm right in your same boat where I'm like, I like a lot, but I also am not super on board with the entirety of the film. I feel like it's uneven. And I know that word is always thrown around, but that's kind of exactly what it is. Where like the first half of the movie is just like, it takes me a long ass time to get into it. It takes me about to like, probably when they hit like the so-called twist in the movie, that's when I start to get really involved with it. Mm-hmm. But it takes me a sec to get into it. But then after the movie ends, overall, I feel like I had a mixed bag of emotion, but it kind of sticks with me almost more than any other Marvel movie that I've seen. And I know that's saying a lot, but like, I would say like the best Marvel movies are the ones that stick with you the most, right? And that's why we're big fans of Guardians. And obviously Guardians 2, if you want to say Guardians 2, because that has a lot of heart. And I feel like this movie has a similar idea of sticking with you as well, mainly because of what works with the film, which is to me the latter half of the film. But at the same time, I feel like overall it is kind of a mixed bag. But it's interesting how you say that you like the movie overall more and more because of how different it is from everything else in Marvel, because of how ambitious it is, because of the scope, because of all the Chloe Zhao-ness that is kind of put into and baked into the film itself. And I feel like that might be worth the price of admission. That might be worth, you know, a positive score overall as a whole. And I know that might be great grading on a curve, but I feel like that's kind of what you have to do with these Marvel movies nowadays because they're so damn cutter. It's so cookie cutter, bro. It's reaching a point that it's like the Marvel formula is so formula that it's like you're eating at a chain restaurant. There is no difference between any of these films when it comes to the formula. And I feel like at least this one didn't work with everything it was trying to do, but at least it tried to break the formula. And if I'm being honest, man, I think the weakest parts of the movie are actually everything that has to do with Marvel. I really do feel, I mean, every Marvel reference to me just was so, didn't make sense, felt forced, felt like baked into the movie. It felt like it was just not a part of the movie at all. And everything else that the movie was trying to say, even all the DC references, because I feel like this movie had more DC references than Marvel references,
yeah,
right?
Honestly, yeah.
Just like even the look, the vibe, the feel, the references, the DC superheroes and all that. And I'm just like, I feel like if they just ignored Marvel, if this movie was just called Eternals and it had an exact same plot, but nothing to do with Marvel, how much better would it have been? I think it would have been better as a whole. And just lose a tiny bit of the formula. Just break the formula a little bit more. Like maybe take 10 minutes off an action scene, maybe the middle action scene when they're in the jungle. Yeah. Maybe take like 5 minutes off that and then maybe 5 minutes off the other one and then add more character scenes. Mm-hmm. I feel like that would have been like a better film. And I know that's me reaching, but I feel like that's kind of overall how I feel. But so far, as you said, man, this has a 48% on Rotten Tomatoes. It is claimed to be the most split Marvel movie or MCU movie so far. Why do you think this movie is so split? Let's call it split. I wouldn't say rotten. I think it's definitely more split. When I see that 50%, I see it more as like 50%
who like it.
Of people like it, 50% of people don't. I think it's more like that than it is like it's rotten and most people don't like it. I think most people either really like it or don't like it. Mm-hmm. I think it's just a 50-50 kind of vibe. So why do you think it's so split like your hair, bro? Like Cruella?
Like 50-50. Yeah, no, I think there's a couple reasons why I split. I think, honestly, I think when I personally, I think about when we talked about in our Robert Zemeckis episode and how after he did Forrest Gump, where he won like the Oscars and he won like all this big acclaim for, his very next film was Contact, which is a movie that, also divided people a lot. I don't think as much as Eternals did, or Eternals is currently doing, but Contact to me is like wildly ambitious, way over the top, deals with like these big ideas of like extraterrestrials and space and like human existence. And I think when directors have like that post like Oscar winning film, that post thing, they kind of feel that like gassed up, juiced up, like creative freedom just to go for it, just to go full steam ahead. And I think that like level of confidence, I think for one, I think a lot of the critics look at Chloe Zhao like an actual artist. Like they look at her like somebody who's an actual artist, somebody who like actually won the Oscar, ranks among the best of them, and has rightfully earned her spot like as an auteur. But now she's doing this big Marvel thing, and it kind of almost is like a sellout narrative. And if you read some of these reviews, they literally say like Chloe Zhao is a corporate sellout. Chloe Zhao is like, there's some of those that literally say that. So I think that's part of it. I think if I'm being frank, I think there's a small contingent of the reviews, not like small, but I think there is a fraction of the reviews that are, reviewers that are like anti-LGBTQ, don't like the Brian Tyler Henry thing, and they cover it up with like all kind of other language like around the movie. But I think it's very notable when specific critics like point out that certain scene. And I think, I don't think it's really something to even regard. Like, I think it's like, I think it's honestly the most innocent crap in the entire world. It's just the whole, it's him having a family. I don't know what's anything wrong with that. We're going to be talking spoilers here too, people. So make sure, you have that connection. If you don't want to be spoiled, don't stick around, because there are some heavy spoilers that are going to be happening here. I think the same people who are upset about the Brian Tyler, not the same exact people, but I think there is a contingent of people who are also very religious, look at this film as not being the most like creationist, like kind of perspective on the view of the world. If you look at any other Marvel movie, they don't really approach the idea of creation or God or religion that much. This movie kind of does in the most direct way possible of any Marvel movie or any Marvel property. So I think that also throws a lot of people off. So I think those are the big major three reasons for me that I think are throwing a lot of people off from this movie. So
yeah, I feel like that's a part of it, but I feel like for the most part, especially when it comes to critics, I think it's more like maybe the story structure. How'd you feel about the story structure? You're a writer, man. You're a director. You love this kind of shit.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the whole flashback to ancient history, flash forward, flashback to ancient history, flash forward, flashback to like 3 days ago, and then they say 3 days ago with the Icarus scene,
right? So
with Salma Hayek, like they keep doing it like the entire film, like all 2.5 hours.
Right, and I think that is something that like is, I think in like old school filmmaking, old school cinema, that was considered like groundbreaking. Like I think like for a long time, having movies like flashback and flash forward and all this kind of stuff, Memento, all that kind of stuff seemed like a really interesting, cool idea. This wasn't the movie for that. This definitely wasn't the movie for that. I actually think the movie would have been way more beneficial if we would have seen it play out completely in chronological order. Like if we would have seen, and maybe keep that little twisting, like maybe keep the little Icarus thing, a little Icarus killing Ajax, spoiler alert, maybe keep that for a little bit later on in the plot, like reveal that as like maybe the one kind of flashback thing. But I think we really needed to see the Eternals being Eternals. And I feel like that was just the part that was completely lost in the movie. And that's what, again, I applaud the movie for its ambition. The part is too ambitious. Like they try and do too much. Like you're trying to convince me that all of these characters all created so many different parts of the earth and humanity and all this. We don't really see that. Like we see one scene of Cersei's, helping them plant water. We see them, having some exchanges with people in life. I think if we would have seen all of the scenes of them evolving through time as like a 1 hour chunk, and then we jump into modern time, I think to me that would have been like way more narratively satisfying for me personally, because I feel like we were just missing that character development. We didn't see that character development or that connection. So.
I feel like that's the problem for most movies nowadays, right? Especially most blockbusters nowadays, where the runtime tells you that they're going to try to do as much as they can, but once you watch the film itself, you always feel like there was so much more left to be told. And it's funny, right? Because that's kind of the biggest takeaway I had from this movie. I saw a movie that's, technically 2 hours and 40 minutes, and yet I feel like there still wasn't, there still could have been so much more told there, right? And that's how I also felt with Dune, where I felt like Dune, I was like, my God, like, give me like 3 more hours of this. I would love it. And obviously that can't be a movie. You can't just have 3 more hours of something.
Right. But, I thought about that too. And I see a lot of people comparing this to Dune. And I think with Dune is different because Dune is one character, one Paul Atreides, and one family. This is trying to do 10 different characters, 10 different storylines, and make you fall in love with all of them. And that's really, really tough. Like, that's really ambition hard. To a whole different scale. With Guardians, that's just 5 characters. Like, Eternals, they're literally doubling up. And I think that's, again, part of the problem. It's ambitious to a fault. Like, I think if it would have been like maybe 10 Eternals in the beginning, and then we saw, maybe 5 like last toward the end or something. I don't know. I mean, like, I also thought it was just kind of, I don't know. I will get into like the more funnier parts, more like the more comedic parts. But I just think it's kind of funny that certain characters dipped in and out like during certain parts of the adventure when, like, I don't know. I feel like they could have been useful then too, So
I just feel like as a whole, we're reaching a point in narrative storytelling, especially when it comes to movies, where I feel like a lot of it though does feel like narratively the reason why films work are because you are able to tell one story in the span of 2.5 hours or 2 hours or however long the movie is. And that is the idea of what film is, right? And obviously there's always potential to tell more, but nowadays when it comes to sequels, when it comes to trilogies and franchises, everything is set up for more future films. And I feel like now we're reaching a point where narratively everything is so much more like television, where in television you have that expansive time to tell these stories and tell these characters in a pretty long time. Especially, obviously I always reference anime, but anime always does this exact same formula that Eternals did. Like, imagine Eternals the anime. We would have like a background episode on Kingo, and we would see his back life and his backstory and what he did for 500 years. We would have a backstory on Makari. We would have like, you know what I mean? Like standalone episodes of them. And we would have like, tellings of this one tale where they met this one person in this one era, like almost like a vampire movie or a vampire book or show that I watch a lot of. So I'm very familiar, where they kind of tell you like, oh, they were in this moment in history in this section of the world, and this is what they did to get more about the character. But you don't have that time in a movie. But the problem with that is TV is still very much limited. And as much as we enjoyed the MCU shows that came out this year, there's still a cap on it. There's still a limit to it, especially when it comes to stuff that Chloe Zhao wanted, which is IMAX screens, full huge cameras, mega scope lenses.
Which is
like
dope.
It's dope, but you can't do that on TV, man. So there's a trade-off. Do you feel that kind of conflict too, or am I the only one?
I definitely feel like I feel like storytelling is influenced by TV. I think that what you're saying with this narrative structure, I think that's definitely part of the TV thing. And I think that, that was a problem I had with It Chapter 2. Like, I feel like It Chapter 2 would have maybe benefited from just telling the story straight on. I know that's like, in film school, they teach you not to do that because that's a boring way to tell the story. But I think at this point, we've seen so many flashbacks and so many flash forward things like throughout movies. It's kind of almost like a played out formula. So much so that when it does it in this movie, when they're trying to tell the story of 7 billion years of humanity, like that's just, it's tough to really like or 7 billion years of Earth. I don't know how long Earth's been
7,000?
7,000 years. I don't know, whatever. Tell the story of 7,000 years of humanity, like over the course of this time, like we need a little bit. Like we need as much of that as possible. Less of the superhero stuff. And I think you're right. If this wasn't a Marvel thing, if this was just a straight up Chloe Zhao original sci-fi film, I think it would have been received a little bit better. I think it would have been a little bit riskier. Like I like that she included a sex scene in there for Icarus and Cersei's because, you know, I think it makes it a little more adult. You could tell this was trying to be the adult human Marvel movie. That's why the DC references kept coming up, because they're trying to say, like, you know, Icarus is Superman. Like, he's who inspired Superman. You know, we have an Alfred now, you know, because Alfred inspired Batman. And you kind of even see them, like, if the team fight at the end kind of feels like a Justice League fight. Like,
feels like a DC movie,
Yeah, so, but, you know, I think that's
what's cool about it.
Yeah. To be honest. It's interesting. Like, and I think for an MCU film, I applaud them going in a different direction. I know a lot of reports are coming out that towards the end, you know, Marvel wanted to go a certain direction with the cut, and Chloe had her director's cut. And at the end, Kevin Feige and the team said that, you know, they wanted Chloe Zhao to have her cut because she had, you know, after she had won the Oscar, that was like the final, like, nail in the coffin. Like, just let her, you know, like have her do the final cut. And I applaud that. I think that's dope. Like, I think the fact that she kind of got her vision fully through and this is it fully realized, even if it's not the most like polished movie, but that just goes to show you too, all the critics just want are just polished Marvel movies. Like, they just want the most polished, sterile, like cookie cutter traditional Marvel movies, and that's just it. So when something tries to be different, step outside the box, you know, it's not the most well received. So
yeah, but I feel like I don't know, man, because at the same time I agree. I feel like most people are split on the film itself, but let's kind of transition to that narrative. The idea of, is this good for Marvel going forward? I know there's been a conversation about it. I've read articles that have said the opposite. I've read articles that have said yes, and I've read articles that have said no. I literally saw a headline that said, oh no, trouble in the future of the MCU, or what Eternals means for the detriment of Marvel going forward. And I'm like, really, detriment? I feel like it's kind of the opposite. If we go to the numbers, man, I mean, 71 million domestic opening weekend is a good ass number. It made 90 million on international box office, which means it's at a 162 million global box office overall as of now, which is the number 2 overall of the year when it comes to the first week. This is good money, bro. I'm sorry, but it's good ass money.
Great money.
So I don't understand why people are saying to the detriment of Marvel. If more people are talking about this movie than I feel like almost any other Marvel movie, more people are, you know, debating it, whether you want to say debating it when it comes to they liked it or didn't like it. When it comes to the actual story, not when it comes to, I didn't like that one scene. For those people, don't even count. I'm talking about like people who are actually debating this movie as a Marvel movie. I feel like that's a good thing, right? Don't you want something different if you're Kevin Feige, if you're, you know, Mr. Hatman, Kevin Feige? I don't know. Do you feel like this is a good thing for Marvel going forward?
Yeah, I like, listen, anything, I always applaud different. I applaud ambition. I applaud creative integrity. You know, I don't like the fact that, you know, I love Black Panther. I don't like the fact that I could tell that the studio takes over in the third act, you know? I love Shang-Chi. And I also feel like Shang-Chi is more narratively consistent too. Like, I feel like Shang-Chi and Eternals both feel like they kind of feel a little bit more consistent with like the actual narrative arc. Like, the third act doesn't turn into a full CGI fest, but I hated it in Winter Soldier. Like, that was the most ridiculous thing. Like, we have this most serious epic spy drama going on, and then it turns into a gun battle, like weird gray CGI. So I definitely don't want more of that. And honestly, also I do get people's criticism of the deviants being like gray monsters too. Like, they could have added a little color to the deviants. But that being said, though, I do like the one lead deviant at the end when he like had the 4 eyes and he was like talking and all that. I thought that dude was dope. But
Pennywise.
Yeah, Pennywise, man, Bill Skarsgård. But it's not a detriment to Marvel. I think if anything, it should encourage more filmmakers to take a chance and like go for, you know, working with Marvel and feel encouraged that they're not going to completely squander their vision or anything like that. So to me, I applaud that. I hope if anything that adds to Scorsese's, you know, or that diminishes Scorsese's like argument that Marvel takes away from creative freedom.
Am I the only one that's tripping? Am I tripping? Just tell me if I'm tripping. if I say take off 10, 15 minutes of fight scenes and add more character scenes?
I think that's the way I think all movies. That's the way I think all these action movies should be. I feel like there's a lot of movies that,
but specifically for a movie this ambitious when it comes to themes, thematic, storytelling, what does it all mean, humanity, all those kind of conversations that I rather have with these characters, even Kingo, than it is I want to see giant monsters and this guy finger gunning these giant monsters. Like I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Can we cut that and just give me, Gemma Chan turning it into a giant tree? Like I'd rather have that be the ending of the fight than 10 minutes of them blasting them and flying around.
I ain't gonna lie, I did like the action in this movie more than the action in a lot of Marvel movies, though. I do think
that's because Icarus is damn Superman, bro. That's why it's cool.
I mean,
and freaking Makari is Flash, and I'm just like, yo, this is the shit. I love it.
Yeah, that's cool. I think and Chloe Zhao talked a lot about like the influences and like the shooting style of the fight scenes. She talked about one of the influences is from IMDb trivia, so I don't know how accurate this is, but she talked about one of the influences being the Revenant, and you could definitely see that in that like forest scene, like when Icarus is getting his like face smashed in like by that giant monster, and he's like, and it's like almost like a close up, and it was actually shout out to Alex Marzonia and Gareth McDowell, both friends of the show, both friends of First Cut Meeting Up, both been on the Meeting Of. I went to AMC Hollywood and had no idea that they were in the same theater. They saw me like stumble in like 5 minutes late. And then as we were leaving, we all talked and we're talking about the film and discussing. And Alex brought up a good point. It's like when they were fighting, it was almost like, oh no, I think Garrett made this point. It was almost like the fight was almost like a close up. Like the more intense it got, the closer up it got to like Icarus's face, like as the more intense the fight was getting. And I thought that was a really cool like visual like note. Like it almost keeps him at the center of the frame, but it slowly pushes in like subtly, even with like all the weird camera movements and stuff. So I thought that was really cool. But yeah, I like the speed stuff. I also loved they found like mad creative ways to have Brian Tyree Henry's character, like have him like be involved in the action without like having it feel cheesy. There's even a point where he was holding down Icarus and he was like, yeah, I've been waiting for this for a long time. I'm like, yeah. Bet you Icarus was racist too. And then
why would he be? Why?
I just bet he was. And then shout out to Angelina Jolie, Thena in this movie. I thought that character was so dope. Having that Mad Riri, is that what it's called? Mad Riri. She going crazy. I thought that was like such a cool like X factor to have like on the team, like somebody who could like kill a bunch of deviants but also like kill anybody like at any moment. That's just dope. The fact that you can make weapons out of nothing is still to me one of the coolest superpowers. Shout out to the Warhammer Titan from Attack on Titan. They have the same power where they literally summon weapons from their hands, and it's like a crossbow, an arrow, a spear, a sword, whatever it is. And I'm just like, yo, this is dope as hell. A hammer, and that's kind of what Thena was. Speaking of characters and favorites, who was your favorite, man, overall? I liked a lot of characters, man. I actually liked
favorite Eternal, like just one Eternal.
I like Druid, man. I thought Druid was I liked him too. I like that he was I like the fact that there were some that were like just totally good people, like Cersei's and Gilgamesh, and there's some people who are like kind of right that line, like Druid was one of them. Thena was another one. I like that they just kind of have like members that are like, all right, are you gonna like tip the scale at any point, so he was definitely one of those. I like that he was like, all right, all of y'all are just crazy. I'm just going to mind control the entire village and just let it be done. And just live my little corner of my life over here. Like,
but to be fair, like when he was kind of spitting when he said like, man, this is genocide. This ain't no war. Yeah. And he was kind of trying to rebel. Right. And the fact that I saw a tweet where they said the Eternals really just let slavery happen. Druid probably tried to stop it. He probably tried.
Honestly, yeah.
he's the only one who like actually gave a crap.
Yeah.
And obviously it doesn't mean, I still think mind control, you can't be doing that. You can't be doing this mind control. I thought the funniest thing, could I say something about that scene? I mean, just because no one else cares. But like when they met Diego, was his name Diego?
Sure.
And they meet him in the Amazon forest, and Sprite goes up to him and she's like, "Hey, where's Druig?" In Spanish, and he starts talking, and he's like, "Oh," he speaks Spanish, and he's like, "Oh, you're looking for Druig." And his accent is like Spaniard as hell. And I'm just like, yo, you got a Spaniard homie in the Amazon forest trying to play like some Ecuadorian brother or something. I just thought it was hysterical, bro. Because if you know that Spaniard accent, I was just like, yo, that is a Spaniard. That is European, bro.
Maybe that's the metaphor. Maybe those are the same people.
Oh, maybe it is.
Like,
maybe it is.
The generations of the people from the Spaniard. Because that's what, also, I do applaud that. Like, this movie, if you look at every date, like, I don't know, I didn't do like a bunch of research before today. Maybe we'll do like a whole meaning of episode. Like that's why I applaud this movie, because you could do a whole meaning of episode on this movie.
Yeah, you can. Well, I actually would be down for that, because I have a lot to say about this movie.
Right, and because if you go to every point that they flash back to in the movie, it's like a significant point in history. Like with that thing, apparently that's like a big turning point in like the American Spanish like Civil War. Before that, were there in like
see that new Rockstars video? I see you.
I mean, yeah, I did watch the new Rockstar video. I didn't finish it, Ace. Thank you very much. But
I finished it.
I didn't finish it.
That is like required viewing, bro.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes you gotta go. Like, I need this movie explained. But though 30 minutes.
No, not explained. But that homie breaks it down though. I got respect for that homie. He always breaks it down.
Eric Voss, and he saw it early too. He probably had mad weeks to think about it. But see, that's dope though. See, and even with that new Rockstars video, it was a 32-minute video. Most of those breakdown videos are like 18 minutes, 20 minutes. They have to spend 32 minutes talking about this movie. Like,
I think it was like more. I think it was like 38 or something.
That's
39.
That's dope. I love the design of the Sentinels. You know what I mean? Like Eternals, yeah, or the Sentinels. No, the Sentinels, like the actual. Celestials. There you go.
Sentinels are from X-Men.
There you go. Same shit. Same stuff. No, dude, when I saw it in IMAX, like when it goes to the full IMAX ratio, and you see like the full,
main guy,
yeah, and it's like just the head, like it's just the head, and you just see that tiny little speck of Cersei's there. You see it. I saw it at the Universal IMAX, so it's like a huge one. It's like the 27 stories. It was just
that's what we should have seen Dune, man. That's what we should have seen.
We should have seen Dune on that screen. That would have been.
It was still dope, but that should have been it. That final scene, man, I can't lie. That you felt that scale.
Yeah.
When he came out of the damn sky, and the freaking lightning was. I felt like literally like this is like straight up like a god. This is the rapture happening right now, bro. I was like, oh my god. You know what scene I'm talking about, right? The very end.
Yeah, when he pulls him out.
You just see a giant head in the sky. I'm just like, yo. Yeah. I'd be pissing my pants. I'd be like, oh my god, this is it, bro.
Right.
This is the end.
And homeboy from Game of Thrones just cool with it.
Yeah. And she just literally goes like, gets sucked up into the sky. I was like, oh my god, this is like the most. I don't know, man. It felt like the most Revelations movie I've ever seen.
That's what's crazy about it. I think that's why a lot of people really ain't messing with it. Like, I think honestly, I think on a deep
people
level,
like that.
I think on a real deep level, I think on a deep level, a lot of people are put off by it like religiously. Like, I
disagree with that. I don't know, man. I saw it with a lot of old people in my crowd. And I think they kind of vibe with that. And I feel like if you're a Marvel fan, like a true Marvel fan, even if you're a younger old person, but by the time you meet Thanos and by the time they are like, you know, Wong is talking about in the beginning, there were the 6 Infinity Stones and blah, blah, blah. And you're just like, yeah, whatever, bro. I don't think anyone is like, yo, but that's not what the Bible says. I don't think anyone.
True.
I don't know. I just don't.
But I know, true.
Yeah,
but I think that's true. I definitely think that's true. I just think like this movie goes to an extra little. I don't know. I think to me,
it does.
At least to me, when I interpret this movie, it does really direct dealing with like free will, existentialism. Like the Eternals are literally robots that were.
They're robots, yeah.
And that's the twist.
Androids, yeah.
And that's a twist on the characters themselves too. Apparently,
there's some like high level, like 8th level, 9th level Super Saiyan level, like Westworld shit, bro.
Yeah, they're like
it's the highest level of Westworld ever.
They're like Android. They're like Android 13.
17 and 18.
17, yeah.
17 and 18, bro. Yeah.
That. Just like 10
Dr. Jerome.
Yeah, but that's but then it's that whole question of like free will. Are we as human beings even have free will? Do we have a purpose? Like Icarus literally couldn't figure out his purpose, and he flew himself into the sun. Like,
yeah, he did.
It's just crazy.
He had to do it.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's an interesting movie. I think if people really sat down and thought about it, like, and really took a look at the deeper meanings and philosophical like stuff that's going on with it, I think they would really appreciate it. I also think visually is great. Like, it's definitely. I know people talk about a lot like Marvel movies. They look too gray. They look washed out. You know, they don't look that great. And people thought saw the trailer for this and thought this might be the case. But I personally don't think that is. Like, I think it's actually very visually dynamic. Very colorful in a lot of ways. Very, very Chloe Zhao. Like, you could definitely tell, like, she came right out the Seven Nomads land and shot this. Like, because it's a lot of the same kind of, like, golden hour, like, shots, like, very naturalistic kind of thing. So, it was good.
I really do feel like the second half just picks up so well. I just didn't like the first half. I just couldn't vibe with, Cersei, and then here comes this guy and here comes this other guy, and I'm just like, I'm just not vibing with Icarus so far. I didn't vibe with Icarus until I found out his true motive, and I kind of every character has a believable motive, and I really like that. Whether it's Sprite, where she feels kind of jaded that she couldn't fall in love because she's a little kid, whether it's Icarus serving Irishmen or serving the Celestial because he feels like that's his God, so he's got to do it. And it's like, yo, if that's what God wants, then bro, who are we to question it, right? That made sense to me. Ajax and Cersei's, decisions made sense to me. Like, everyone's decisions made sense to me. Druig's, Makari, keeping herself down at the ship. I really do feel like the character motivations really did make sense. So that was kind of a refreshing motive where I felt like every character is super believable. I don't know. I just really do feel that for sure. And you said your favorite was who? Just the final?
Yeah, I'd probably say Druid. You know what I mean? Probably say Druid.
Sure.
But also,
I'm with you.
Oh, you said Druid.
I would say Druid or Makari. I love them both. I love both of them. I think Makari is really cool. I think she has a lot of personality. Even though she's, just kind of doing her own thing, I just felt like she had a ton of personality, and you kind of feel her vibe, regardless of that. Do you have a least favorite?
Definitely Sprite. 100% Sprite.
Oh,
and
don't do Sprite like that, bro. Come on now.
Well,
I saw somebody's tweeted out like, yo, Sierra Mist. Somebody got to catch Sierra Mist, bro. And I'm just like, yo, Sierra Mist, bro. Yeah, I used to drink that, and I was like, yo, check on 7-Up, bro. It's all these like lemon soda drinks.
That's messed up, man. I don't like. I don't like Sprite at all, and I actually don't think.
Oh, I love Sprite. You don't like Sprite, bro?
I don't
drink.
I don't like any soda. I don't drink any soda.
Come on, bro. Sprite?
No,
Sprite.
I don't drink Sprite. I'll probably drink Sprite before Coca-Cola. I'll be real about that. I'll drink Sprite before Coca-Cola any day of the week. But I don't like. I like. That's why I like the bubbly water. I like the LaCroix, man. People have been making fun of me for it, but that's
you an old man, bro.
But hey, man, Sprite, the character Sprite, like, I didn't like maybe her as a character, but I also didn't think it was like well developed. Like, I thought it kind of jumped from her. Like, I got the idea of her not wanting to be young. I didn't get the idea of her being in love with Icarus until like that. She said, like, it was said once, and then like she went with Icarus, and then that's like the only times I felt like it was ever addressed, So
I don't know, man. I feel like if you're a little girl your whole life and you're hanging out with Superman, like, I believe it. I believe that you're in love with that guy. Just the whole time you're just like, yo, the Superman's here and he can't be with me because I'm a little girl. That'd be frustrating as hell, bro. I don't know. I felt like every motivation was believable. I gotta be honest, man. Damn, I might lose everyone. I didn't hate anybody. If I'm being honest, I didn't hate anybody, but I did feel some type of way. About a certain someone. Everyone was there doing the Holy Trinity, floating, giving their energy, their Holy Spirit to freaking Cersei except one. And I felt so salty about it. And I'm like, bro, even Icarus is in the air floating, giving his spirit energy to Spirit Bomb Goku. Another DBZ reference. Yeah. But like everyone there was giving their spirit energy except mother effing Kingo, bro.
Yeah.
Kingo just sat out, bro. He really just said, yo, I'm good. Deuces. Peace sign. And he disappears. And I'm just like, bro, even Icarus is giving his spirit energy, bro, at the end. But Kingo's not there. Kingo was like, he was a cocky ass movie star who was like, nah, I'm good.
Kingo.
I'm just like, come on, bro.
I didn't think it was him being cocky. I think it was just a hilariously interesting character decision to have somebody be like, all right, I'm out. I'm really out. Like, I thought it was going to be, honest to God, I thought it was literally going to be something like he comes out at the very, very end. He saves the day. He's the Deus Ex Machina. I really, really thought it was going to be something like that. When he just didn't show up, I kind of laughed a lot in my head. Like, I was like, yo, that's funny. Shout out to Chloe Zhao for like actually committing to him sitting out all the way. Like,
but even damn Icarus, bro. Icarus was in the air, bro. He was freaking floating, giving his spirit energy and like doing the Holy Trinity, and he was still giving it all. And I was like, bro, but Kingo, you can't do the same, bro.
Kingo didn't want to fight. He couldn't fight Icarus, man. He was making the Icarus movie. He was making the Legend of Icarus. He couldn't fight his boy like that.
That's true. That's true. Also, his power was the finger guns.
Yeah, he had no power. He wouldn't have added nothing to the fight.
Can I just say that might be the worst one? I don't know. I'll say Sprite's illusions might have been the worst one.
Nah, Sprite's illusions could come in handy. It was handy when they did the clone one. I thought they all found creative ways to use their powers, like with her doing the multiplication. I thought that was creative. I thought whenever when the Asian homie, whenever he did the fist thing, I thought like he found creative ways to do that. Again, Thena was dope.
Thena was the best. Yeah, best power in my opinion.
Yeah, so all of that was cool. Even Cersei. Cersei's
was cool too.
Cersei's was cool. I just feel like I wish the MCU just hadn't spoiled that power like 800 times already, like in the universe. I'm kind of tired.
Who else has that?
Well, we saw Doctor Strange do it with Thanos. We saw Wanda do it. Yeah, I don't know. Just don't want to see that one as much. The whole transformation.
It's definitely basic for sure. It's very much like I can turn matter into different things. But I kind of like the twist though, because I'm actually going to counter that, man. Because that twist was kind of cool. Because when she turned the freaking deviant into a tree, you know, in the beginning of the movie, you find out that she can't change any living being.
Sentient things.
Yeah, she said any living being or any sentient thing. You can't change DNA. And then at the end of the movie, she can. And she does it to an Eternal, which is the most powerful being in the universe. So I actually think her power was kind of cool once it changed from just changing matter to changing actual like DNA. And I thought that was like, I was like, yo, that's powerful. That's actually kind of cool. If I can touch you and I can just make you turn into water or some BS.
All right.
Just make you, you know, just literally a splat on the ground just by touching you. That's kind of powerful. So I was like, that's actually kind of cool. But I still felt like Sprite and Kingo. I was like,
I don't like Sprite.
Those are kind of like.
I don't like Sprite. I don't like Sprite as a character. But I also feel like Kingo. Listen, why did Kumail Nanjiani lose all this weight just to show up in the movie and not even perform in the third act? That's crazy. He didn't
and be comic relief.
Yeah, be the comic relief and bring another comedic relief. He brought a second comedic relief. I was leaving with him. Did you like the director character? Did you think he was funny? Did you think he was cool?
I liked him. I definitely felt like there might have been maybe a little bit too much.
Yeah, you think it was forced or
a little too much of him and Kumail. I definitely felt like that could have been a little bit. Yeah. I know they desperately wanted to have comedic relief, but I definitely felt like, all right, it might be a little too much. All
right.
But I definitely feel like overall, I liked every single character. I would definitely say Makari, Druig is up there for me. Definitely.
Do you think Eternals
Cersei
2
as well
is going to happen? No. Like no Eternals 2 at all.
Do you? I feel like Eternals 2 wouldn't make sense. I would feel like they would come up in maybe Guardians 3, maybe.
People say that, but I don't know how. I mean, how you get all the Eternals in different movies? Like, I don't see how you get all the Eternals in different movies. Like, I think there is more story to tell. Like, I think there's so much more story to tell. Like, what's going to happen with I just don't know what other movie can Cersei and those people be on trial by the things. I also think, they loosely alluded to, and we're going to talk about the post-credit scene here with Henry Styles, with Eros coming in at the end being the brother of Thanos. And the comic history, Thanos is a Eternal with a deviant gene or something like that. I don't know. I don't know how that works in like this context with them being robots or whatever. But if that be the case, like, will we see a Thanos connection happen in Eternals 2? Like, I do think we're going to see some characters show up in Guardians, that some characters show up in Thor: Love and Thunder. But I think there might be. Thor, yeah. I almost feel like they have to have another Eternals to continue like all the storyline that they set up here.
It is definitely a lot, right? Because you do have the Arrows. You do have, but we do have. What do we have so far? We have Guardians 3 coming up. We have. What else did we say? Thor: Love and Thunder.
Thor: Love and Thunder. Doctor Strange, but I don't know if any of these are showing up in Doctor Strange.
Multiverse of Madness. And then at the very end of the movie, I recognized that voice immediately, bro. We're talking full spoilers. Yeah, I was like, I know that voice. I've seen enough of his damn movies. I definitely know that voice, man. Green Book for the win, bro.
Yeah. Oh man, not Green Book. Get the heck out of here with that. I don't know about that.
But obviously it's one of the most recognizable voices, bro. The guy is, he voiced Homie in Invincible too.
Yeah.
So he's done actual voice work too. You saw Invincible, right?
Of course, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you know the rock guy he played? I forgot his name.
Titan or Tana or something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. So I don't know, man, just because, I was that kid in 1998. You weren't even born. I don't know.
I was born in 1998. Thank you very much.
There you go. You were being born as I was freaking playing with a sword and putting on fake fangs.
Born in 97.
Pretending to be Blade. So I love Blade. He's one of my all-time favorite characters, period. So I do feel like, as soon as I heard that voice, I got chills, bro. I got chills. How'd you feel?
I didn't know it was him. I'm be honest with y'all. I'll be real with you. We had one person. Listen, when we see it at Thursday, like you go to the Thursday night.
I saw Thursday night too, bro. I saw the first screening on Thursday.
Me too. It's the 6 o'clock. The 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. That's what I saw.
So when you see that, there's literally nobody who's like seen it. So everybody just speculate. So initially when it happened, there's a dude next to me who was like, Samuel Jackson. Whispers. The whispers start to turn to other whispers, and people start whispering to each other, and then the whole narrative comes out when you leave the theater. So it was like Samuel Jackson, and then quickly the narrative became, it's Jeffrey Wright, it's the Watcher. So the whole theater, I'm telling you, the whole IMAX theater was leaving that movie for sure, certain it was the Watcher, Jeffrey Wright.
But I knew it was Mahershala right away. That's just a promise, because again, I said I've seen enough of his movies and I know his voice well enough. I immediately knew it was him, which obviously I knew it was Blade because they've been announced that since way back in the day. And I gotta give credit to one of the couples that sat behind me, because one of them got it too, and they immediately said, "Was that Mahershala Ali?" And they literally said the name, and I was like, "Oh, so they caught it too." But someone behind me, literally, same thing that you'd said, where you hear the whispers in the theater, but my theater got it right, or at least the couple behind me did. They were literally like, "Oh, that's Mahershala. I know it for sure." And I was just like, "Yo, he got it.
No, I heard one tiny Mahershala, and then the person next to him was like, "Nah, it's not Mahershala." Like,
that's totally Mahershala.
That's literally what I heard when I was in the theater.
Bro, come on. Literally, his deep voice. You sure you're ready for that? I was like, "Oh, that's him. That's 100% him." Yeah. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see Jon Snow with a sword again. The King in the North. The two kings in the North were in this damn movie. I still feel some type of way about that, bro. I really got to be honest.
Let me share one scene together.
In a good way, because I really do feel like Robb Stark and Jon Snow, bro. Robb Stark is one of the best characters in all of TV. I love that character. That's Icarus, by the way. I don't know if you care.
I don't know.
And obviously Jon Snow is Jon Snow. He's legendary. And now he's going to wield a giant, crazy sword. I'm dope.
Isn't it kind of crazy that they look alike, though?
Do they look alike?
They look the exact same to me.
I mean, they're supposed to be brothers, but...
Yeah, they look the exact same. They're brothers in Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Are you for real? They're brothers in Game of Thrones? Are you kidding me?
You didn't know that?
No. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, yo, that makes all the sense. Oh, yo, that's smart. All right, that was smart for Chloe Zhao.
I mean...
That's smart.
Technically, they're cousin brothers. You'll get it when you watch the show.
I don't even want to think about that. But I think that's smart because I feel like she literally like broke up with. I think the idea is that she broke up with like her and Icarus broke up. Now she's dating a dude that looks exactly like him, like just a little bit chubbier and chubbier. Like literally, I think that's what the idea was. Like that's the first thing I caught, and then you're telling me they're brothers. That just kind of confirms it to me. Like, so
can I just say? Every time I see Kit, Kit's the homie, because Kit stands at a brawling exactly my height. Homie is exactly my height, bro. And you know how tall I am, so that's what it is, bro. You know, you can tell on screen, right?
Stands tall, yeah. He was way shorter than her.
He's a tiny fool, bro. He's a tiny fool.
Shout out to Jenna Chan too. I was the first time that we've seen an actress play two different characters in the MCU.
Yeah. It can happen.
Yeah, I guess we technically saw with that one dude who was in the Spider-Man and he was in Shang-Chi as well. I guess he was.
But I think he's playing the same guy though.
Is he? I don't know.
Yeah,
okay,
I think it's the same guy. I think they confirmed that in the behind-the-scenes stuff that I saw.
Oh, okay. Oh, man, that's cool. Cool.
I saw the behind-the-scenes that the director did, and I think he confirmed that it's the same guy. Yeah, man, those are all my thoughts. I guess we pretty much finished up. I didn't really care about the Arrows stuff. I got to be honest.
I like Henry Styles.
I
like Henry Styles. You're not like Henry Styles?
What'd you say?
You like Henry Styles? Are you a fan of Henry Styles, the actor? Oh, you're frozen. Can you hear me? Hello? Miggity, mic check 1 2. What's going on? Okay, you good?
He's only been in one movie, man.
I mean, he was in Tenet. Yeah, I mean, but he was good in Tenet. And he's just a good
Dunkirk.
Dunkirk, that's it. He was good in that movie. He didn't have to say no lines, but
he was. And so was what's his face? Barry something. The guy who plays Druig.
Oh, that's
Come on,
right.
Man.
Oh, he was in Dunkirk. That's right.
Chloe Zhao said that she saw Dunkirk and that's how she cast him.
Oh,
she
really?
literally said that.
Oh, word.
She literally said, I saw Dunkirk and I was like, I want those two guys in my movie.
Really? Yo, that's dope. Oh, shout out to... I'm glad Chloe... Yo, me and Chloe Zhao will probably be good friends, yo, because we like the same
but she watches Game of Thrones and she saw that they were brothers. You don't.
Well,
so that's a detriment.
I watch no Game of Thrones. But I think the fact that Chloe Zhao... Apparently, I was reading that she like actually likes the MCU. So that's kind of dope. Like she actually likes the Marvel crap. And that kind of makes sense to me too. Like I feel like this is...
But she said she likes the DC stuff too, right?
Well,
she said in an interview.
Yeah. I mean, I don't read all of her interviews. But I literally just go off of IMDb trivia, bro. I'm sorry. But in IMDb trivia, she says she likes the Marvel stuff. I think this literally feels like, to me, this feels like, and it's not as good as The Last Jedi, but it feels like in the same way that Rian Johnson was trying to take the Star Wars narrative and subvert it and make it different. I think that's what Chloe Zhao is a fan of. It feels like this is a movie made by a fan of the MCU who's trying to make a different MCU movie. And I just appreciate that. I think that's dope. And I'm not saying it's like exactly The Last Jedi or as good as The Last Jedi, but I think the attempt is still there. Like the attempt of trying to elevate something that you're a fan of is really inspiring. And I think that deserves enough praise. And I think
I agree.
I think the lowest MCU film, that's crazy. Like it's at least like you can't even. I wouldn't even say it's like the worst of like the past like 3 years or something like that. Yeah. Like we've had more trash like MCU. Like come on.
Yeah, I would definitely say
Ant-Man and the Wasp. Like come on.
Yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp is definitely. Yeah, it's not great. This is definitely a higher middle of the pack, I would say.
Yeah, middle.
At least for me.
Middle, yeah.
Yeah, but like middle higher. You know what I mean? Like not middle low, but middle high.
Yeah.
Around there for me, for sure. Only other news we have, man, is that Patty Jenkins' Star Wars movie got moved a little bit. How do you feel about that? You feel like there's something more there?
No, I don't know. Do you think she's gonna get fired, or is that what you think the speculation is?
No, but I keep hearing there's rumors about a new Star Wars movie that they're not scrapping, but they're postponing a bunch of the movies they announced because they decided to do a new one, and that the first one they're going to do is actually one they haven't even announced yet, and they're probably going to announce it, I guess, Friday. I don't know. There's just rumors going around in the Star Wars world right now.
Tell me about it. Hey, man, come on, man. You know what time it is.
So there's obviously Knights of the Old Republic is one of the rumors that have come out. that a Knights of the Old Republic movie is in the making. That's a real spicy rumor, though. I doubt that's going to happen. That's just me. I doubt that's going to happen. But Friday, apparently, a ton of news is going to drop, and a trailer is going to drop for. I think they said the Obi-Wan show for sure. But if they announce a movie Friday, they said they're going to announce a new one, and that's why they're postponing this one, because they're trying to do some other ideas that they had instead of the ones they announced, which was the Taika one and the Patty Jenkins one.
They gotta.
How do you feel about that?
Nah, don't do it. Don't do it, Star Wars. Keep a plan. If there's one thing you gotta learn from the MCU, keep a plan. Like, hold on to the plan as tight as possible. If you got a plan, stick to it. Don't go moving around. Knights of the Old Republic. They're appealing to fans. Like, fans want Knights of the Old Republic, and that's what they're gonna try and do more. Don't lose Taika. Don't lose Taika Waititi at any cost. Like, if you have him signed on for something, don't lose him.
Apparently, they don't even have anything right now, bro. I mean, at least that's what I've seen so far. The Taika stuff is kind of cold. Man. I'm not going to say it's DOA or Dead in the Water or Dead on Arrival, but it's definitely, it's cold. It's cold right now. Yeah. At least that's what I see. Because he's shooting Thor Love and Thunder right now. Yeah. He was going to do, what was it, Disney's Tower of Terror?
Yeah, he has a lot going on. Yeah, he's busy.
I was like, dude, it doesn't look like he's starting the Star Wars stuff anytime soon. So yeah. I don't know. He's got a lot of stuff lined up for him. So.
Right. And Patty Jenkins, too. Like, she's going to get busy with
Patty.
Wonder Woman 3, I'm sure.
Wonder Woman 3?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, don't lose out on, like, these A-list directors. And I think personally, I think they have so much good stuff going on with TV right now. I think they have a great director behind the Obi-Wan series, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, they have Robert Rodriguez for the Boba Fett show. They have who was the
girl who directed a lot of the Mandalorian episodes. She's not.
Oh yeah.
She's nominated for an Emmy.
I forgot her name. I can't believe I'm forgetting her name. I'm gonna pull it up right now as you talk about. But JJ in the chat saying that if we've seen the leaked images, RB3 has. I haven't seen any.
Yeah, I saw them. I don't recommend people seeing them. Please stay off the internet. Don't Google Spider-Man. Don't Google
Deborah Chow.
Deborah Chow. She's obviously going to be directing the new Obi-Wan show. So hold on to good directors. You know what I mean? We're seeing the new league of good directors coming out of Disney, and they should hold on to that. So they make good stuff.
Yes, hold on to new directors, but also don't give up on movies, Lucasfilm, because I feel like you kind of are. I feel like they're kind of settling for like, yo, Mandalorian, Baby Yoda, we can just sell like 1,000 million toys off this stuff. And I'm just like, yes, probably, but don't give up on movies. Again, Dune, Eternals, those are epic blockbuster movies that you cannot do on TV, period. And I know a lot of people might come at me and be like, oh, shut up, bro, TV's better. But I still feel like there's something special about sitting in a damn theater and watching a damn movie. And that's what made Dune to me so special. And that's what made Eternals, what it was as well. For anyone who really enjoyed it, you just don't get that same kind of vibe if you just settle for a TV show or a TV movie. That's just my opinion. Especially Star Wars. It's Star Wars, bro.
Built in the cinema. Built on.
Yeah, bro. 1977, bro. Come on. Ever since that first movie, people were talking a lot of crap today. At least I saw a little bit on my Twitter and stuff about Star Wars and about Dune. But I just feel like, bro, if you know anything about Star Wars, Dune. Don't get me wrong. Dune is hype. Dune is dope. And Dune, the book, might have inspired Star Wars. But don't get it twisted, bro. Star Wars is a different level, bro. I'm sorry, but it just is. Like,
I'm sure Dune fans will have something to say about that, but
Star Wars is a different level. Like, I'm sorry, but Paul Atreides ain't Han Solo. Like, he's just not. He's not even on the same level as far as like personality wise. And sometimes like 5 minutes of Harrison Ford being Han Solo is better than like an hour and a half of Paul Atreides. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Even in the 80s movie, you saying all that? Dang, man.
Yeah.
Come on, you don't clown David Lynch, my boy, like that?
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. Come on, bro. Harrison Ford's Han Solo in Empire Strikes Back. That guy's a badass in that movie. He's dope.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So don't get it twisted, y'all. Star Wars is still the shit. So we'll wait and see what happens Friday. But either way, guys, that is it for us on First Cut. I saw Sabrina in the chat earlier.
Is in the chat. John Lee.
I think she might have left.
Yeah, she said she had us on mute. John Lee said, real quick before we go, what do y'all think we're going to see on Disney Plus Day this Friday?
That's what I was referring. Yeah,
so that's the Star Wars announcement.
Obi-Wan trailer and maybe a Star Wars announcement. Yeah.
Okay. All right. But what do you think from the MCU? You think because they have titles they got to announce? Like they moved around some titles, right? Like they moved around.
They might announce some titles. They might announce when Blade is coming out because Blade was already teased.
I think that's 2023. They said, right?
They haven't said it though, right?
Oh,
they haven't.
I don't know.
They might have.
2023 is a long time.
It is. But then again, 2022 is literally 2 months away or a month and a half away.
Damn,
so
yeah, time flying.
I don't know.
I also think we're going to probably see a new trailer for Hawkeye. I'm sure a piece of crap. I also feel like the Disney shows are the Marvel shows are a little bit diluting the movies a little bit. You know what I mean? Like this.
What do you think the best Marvel show has been so far?
Loki.
Best MCU show overall, right? As a complete package, right?
I'll probably say as a complete package, it might be maybe like WandaVision, just because it actually has a beginning and an end. And I feel like WandaVision's stronger, but the finale is so crap, and that Loki finale is actually kind of pretty good. Yeah. So it's tough. It's definitely between those two. I think Loki might not have like the same kind of like ramifications on the MCU like at this exact moment. I think this stuff is going to come later on down the line. But I think with right now, like we're literally going to see. I think Wanda's going to play a part into the Spider-Man stuff. You know what I mean? Like into No Way Home. I think that's going to be a little bit. I think she might show up. If not, at the very least, a post-credit scene. Like I think there's going to be too much. They already alluded to No Way Home being like a part one to the Doctor Strange. Multiverse of Madness, like being a part two. I could see Wanda showing up at the end of Spider-Man being like doing some weird thing, or maybe she's behind the whole, cross-dimensional spell mess up thing. Who knows? So I'm hyped for it. I think, but that's what I'm saying. I think it's very important right now. Like it's relevant right now, and I think the most eyes was on WandaVision because it came out first and it got right out the gate. But I do think Loki is the most top tier one. Don't tell me Hawkeye is gonna be good though, because I just won't believe you.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I got to be honest with you. So I feel like it's a weird time right now. I mean, obviously we got Black Widow, we got Shang-Chi, and we got Eternals. I feel like that's pretty solid. To be honest, that's a pretty solid 3. But I feel like TV overall has been really good, but still not 100% there all the way. So we'll see if Marvel keeps up the winning streak or if maybe they drop the ball on Hawkeye. We'll have to wait and see.
Shout out to the Marvel movies so far. Out of those 3 movies you just named, 2 of them directed by women, Chloe Zhao and Kate, what's her name for Black Widow?
Shortland.
Kate Shortland for Black Widow. Also, out of the TV shows, Loki was directed by I think a woman the whole time, if I'm not mistaken, and also was Falcon and Winter Soldier. So we have
shot by a woman too.
There you go. So double duty for both of those shows and movies. Also, shout out to AAPI representation for Chloe Zhao and Dustin Daniel Cretton for Shang-Chi and Eternals. So big box office success for both of those movies. So big stuff. Big stuff.
Yeah, John Lee mentioned that too. Alrighty, guys, that is it for First Cut. RB3, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Director RB3. And you can find K's new music video for his new song Algorithm.
Is that your music video, bro?
Oh no, I didn't.
Did you direct it?
One. No. That one's coming out soon. That one's coming out really soon. Yeah. But that one's coming out really soon. That's called Hollywood. That'll be out soon. But right now, check out Algorithm. I'll put it in the link in the top of the description down below. Also, I meant to shout this out like earlier in the night as well. But let me turn on the music a little bit because it's a little bit whatever. But a couple weeks ago, there was a shooting that happened in my area across the street from my house at a liquor store. It was happened in the middle of the day on a Sunday, and it was actually somebody who was a family friend. It was a family friend of ours. So I didn't know this gentleman personally, the victim who got shot personally, but there is a GoFundMe page to support his family and support the funeral services. So I will be linking that in the description down below as well. It's not there right now, but that will be at the top of the link in the description as well. So please support that GoFundMe, and please check out K's music video.
K's music video. I mean, if we're doing this, bro, I might as well mention the fact that obviously hearts and prayers out to the family members of the people who were at Astroworld. I've been going to concerts for years, and obviously hearing the stuff coming out of there was devastating. So make sure you guys be on the lookout for any kind of GoFundMe or any kind of way you guys can help those families as well. Also, guys, Tuesdays at 7, that is our new time, Tuesdays at 7. Sabrina will be here next week. Follow her at Sabrina X Monica and Sabrina on Film on Twitter and Patreon. And you can follow me at Squad Leader Ace. Also, follow us at First Cut TMO. Leave a comment, leave a like. Follow us if you haven't already on YouTube. Either way, guys, for the First Cut crew, peace. Go Suns.
Don't you dare laugh with the 4/5 divide you in half. You getting at me equals a bloodbath. You do the math, take you out the equation. This ain't funny, so don't you dare laugh with the 4/5 divide you in half. You getting at me equals a bloodbath. Only one can remain. It's either me or you. Only one can remain. It's either me or you. Only one can remain. It's either me or you. Take you out the equation. It's either me or you. You do the math. Only one can remain.
It's Britney, bitch.